Check, check. All right, let's do this again. How y'all feeling out there?
Great.
Feeling great. I love this audience. I didn't have to ask y'all a second time. I appreciate it. My name is Michaela, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Sankofa Video on Books. I'm going to keep it short and simple. We are here to do the book launch of Mr. Darius Odom, who's an author, speaker, entrepreneur, and proud owner of Skills Fitness Apparel. He was born in Washington, D.C., Chocolate City, and raised in Temple Hills, Maryland, located in Prince George's County. And you can follow him on Instagram. Today we're here to talk about Keys of the Game. And interviewing him is none other than our very own Yantha Mengistu. He is one of the managers of Sankofa. He is a curator of books. We call him Sankofa Man. He gives great advice. If you come in here, he's going to chop it up with you. He's just a very good brother, very knowledgeable. And we're happy to have them both in conversation today. So without further ado, please give a round of applause to Darius Odom.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, my fellow Southern Marylander. Yeah, I got my mother living in Fort Washington, so yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty used to seeing like Black excellence a lot. Just in terms of like people doing it. Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful thing. So I guess in light of that, since we're both from the same section, it kind of explains the book somewhat to me. In terms of like achieving and going above and beyond your typical, what people think they can do. You know what I mean? So I guess the first question I've got is, why the title? What inspired it? What inspired it?
Keys to the game of chess. That's
Okay.
just the game of chess. I wanted to with a unique name that wasn't heard of before. The name just came from chess, and then you read the book is based on chess and life. Keys to the game is simple, but it makes it stand out. So
Yeah. Okay, and and I guess I can kind of play off that in terms of like us being of our generation, like you gotta have game and stuff like that in order to like do this or do that, And so, I like the title. I definitely like the title. But I had a few questions. Let me see. I haven't jotted it down. I couldn't really memorize them. But so in light of that, like, tell us a bit more about your background and like what brought you to this particular point in life.
Background, born in Washington D.C., raised in Temple Hills, Maryland. Mostly taken care of by my grandparents. My mom struggled from addiction. No pops passed away. Yeah, I was born. So I became very observant as a child. Through football, through sports, through any type of athletics, just learning different parts of the game. It's a game you gotta, tailor yourself to fit each game, but still be yourself when you put yourself there. So growing up, I was just very observant. I guess because I was thirsty for knowledge of myself, knowledge of everything going around me. So I was just a knowledgeable young man growing up.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you were soaking up all this game, if you will, from your environment. And when did it come to you that you were like, all right, I gotta make a book about this? Because I know we launched your first book, the Gold Standard Mail. Yeah. So you went from that, and now you've got this new book out. So
I just came quotes. Okay. Quotes since I was a kid. I would write down different quotes somebody would tell me. I probably had like a piece of paper everywhere. Now it's of course in my notes on my iPhone.
Right.
So just quotes, and the virus hit. When the virus hit, it was everything was shut down. No gym. A lot of stuff was slowed down. So I had time to really put the quotes together and start breaking it down. It's funny because my editor, she actually mentioned like it was set up like an essay paper like school when I was writing, because I would do a quote and break it down, but I had to make it flow so the reader can absorb it better. So just quotes is where I got started. Literature always been my thing, like listening, whether it's speaking. So I always think the voice is always about frequency. Anything or writing, absorbing anything, it's always frequency based, and I was drawn to it.
Okay, nice. And what would you say was your favorite literature growing up then?
My favorite piece of literature growing up, that's hard.
Yeah,
novel or just
favorite period, just across the board. You can do both.
I was a big fan of Robert Greene books.
Okay.
33 Strategies of War, 40 Laws of Power, all his books.
Yeah.
Sister Soldier books I like. I like the character Midnight a lot.
Nice.
Growing up. Midnight, he's that dude like this, how he conduct himself, the things he went through. It was like a perfect protagonist for a storyline, and he put the perfect pieces around him to help him develop. So I like the way that story unfolded.
Right.
Those are my two pieces of greatest art or literature, I would say.
Right.
I like growing up.
And I mean, I think that's the beauty of literature, right? Is the fact that like it inspires beyond just the fictive portion of it, it inspires in real life in terms of like what you might want out of life and what you might want to do. And so like I know for me, I've read different books in the past where I was like, oh, okay, I could take a piece of this character, a piece of that character, and I like how this character did this, I like how this character did that. So
I did the same thing with sports. Even when I played ball, I would observe one player, this player, how he was pleased, how he was tape, how he was buzz.
what position you play, by the way?
I played in high school, I played linebacker mostly. In college, I played DB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Defense is more fun.
It is.
You don't want to get hit. You want to get hit.
That's the fact.
Exactly.
You play ball?
Nah, I didn't, but I know a lot of people that did.
I mean, when I see the regular shirt.
Yeah, I know. That's silly me.
Gotcha.
Nah, but yeah, that's definitely the thing. Like I have relatives that play ball, and so what I noticed right away was like, you build a lot of camaraderie, you learn dedication and commitment to something and seeing something through. And I would say it's a very valuable experience for anyone to have, to just be in sports in general. Even me not being in it necessarily, but being close enough to it, it kind of helped me see those things, and it kind of helped me somewhat apply those things into my life as well. Just like, okay, I know how they did it like this or they did it like that. Even in the case of like working here, for instance, like I literally treat it like a sport sometimes. It's like I just
sports basically the basic thing with sports is you're going to do the uncomfortable to win. So basically the same thing, like you got to do uncomfortable things daily. Your daily habits, so you'll become better. You doing the comfort zone all the time,
right?
You ain't really making no improvement,
right?
Biggest thing for sports, that's sports. We get back to literature, but sports is it's so many like lessons in sports, and as everybody know. But I think the main thing I took from it is just getting back up after the fall. I think the most thing, like everybody talk about success and getting in, like the resiliency is probably the most important thing nobody talk about. Yeah, because being resilient is getting back up each and every day. That's what sports taught me.
Yeah, and it makes sense because I mean most people tend to focus on the glory of it, like the end goal of it, and a lot of times people tend to preach that like it's the journey that you really have to be more so obsessed with. Like Kobe was my favorite athlete, so that was one thing I hear him say a lot. You have to be obsessed with the journey, not so much the end result, because the end result is a result of the journey in general. So those little things every day. And you can apply that to anything in life. Like I said, I apply those methods here sometimes. Just like looking at a challenge and just saying, all right, we got to do X, Y, and Z. How we gonna do it? And then we just do it, just execute. So I've seen a lot of amazing things happening here, just out of thin air. Like it was an idea and it became a reality. And
so I'm doing great things every time I come through it. And just the energy of the stores is always knowledgeable. The things I learned. Thank you. The books, so many books I picked up. So yeah.
Wise mama, you. So, well, let me ask, like, this is one of my other questions, like, have your own life events inspired you in making this book? I mean, I feel like you already kind of answered that question, but I guess you can kind of expound a little bit on it if you like.
What's the question?
Like, have your own life events helped to inspire this new book?
Oh, yeah. Just fall in love with the game of chess. And,
when did you start playing?
I would say about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that long, just 3 years ago, and I started, you always hear the same, it's like chess, be chess player, not chess player. I started playing, I understand the complexity of the game, and then I started correlating it to life, how complex life is, all these different areas, all these different emotions flowing, things going in your head. You got to be able to strategically plan things out. That's basically the thing that evolved the most in my chess playing into the book.
And was there any particular person, like a mentor, somebody that drew you into it, or was it just something that just on a spur, just on a whim, you're just like, let me try to do that? Was there anyone in particular?
No, I just I had some free time. After my first book, I got away from reading so much. It takes a lot. It drains a lot when you going through, when you read the book over, and then you read it backwards and so much. So I just picked up chess and started the game. Didn't know it was going to lead to my next book at all. I had no idea. It was kind of all correlated. So.
Yeah, that's really interesting, though. That's really interesting. So 3 years later, after taking this up, the new book came out. That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Nice. Now you got me want to take up chess.
Yeah, you do it. I think movies kind of helped me inspire me too. Like movie Fresh.
Okay.
In the 90s, he was playing chess.
Yeah.
What other movie is based on chess? I think it was a chess club in DC. It was a movie on it. I forgot it.
Yeah.
But it was based on chess. I probably watched a couple movies on it. Just ran across the screen. I probably picked it up. Just learned it.
I'm trying to remember. There's a movie in my head. I'm probably thinking of Fresh too.
Fresh movie.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking of Fresh, but there was a movie that dealt with chess. But I've always found it really fascinating, though. Like, and when we do get people outside, I tend to watch, but then I'm just kind of like bewildered. they doing something.
Once you, it's not as much as it like.
Really?
Once you know where the pieces move, you know how to strategically plan it. You get a strategy. It's fun. It's fun.
Okay. Now I'm going to take a look on that one of these days. But we're looking to actually just to kind of piggyback off the chess thing. There's a group out here in the city that the black chess players, and they're trying to get some tournaments going, and we talked to them about bringing something here. So yeah, facts. At any point in time, I'm gonna definitely be sure to let you know that. Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna talk to him and see what where he's at with it in terms of like planning, because I know it's probably really like time consuming to keep up with that in terms of like having these different venues and stuff. He teaches youth as well, so yeah. So I'm gonna try to organize that with him. That way, bring this fly chessboard. Definitely.
I'm bring a different one. That one just set up in the crib to look nice. That's the I see it. We don't really play on that one. We just set that one up to look nice. And then we get a wooden one to play with. We ain't touching the glass yet.
It's honored for you to bring the home decor over. It's very much honored. I appreciate it.
We'll sit up in the crib.
Yo, so let me ask you, like, how should the reader use this book, pretty much?
Utilize my book.
Yeah, how should they utilize it?
It hit them right away when they open the book, Keys to the Game. So the reader going to utilize it by utilizing their childhood and going back into what they know from their childhood experience, from traumas, some good things that happen in their childhood, understanding why they do certain things, why they don't, understanding things that's tailored for them. Outside of the world, what the world got going on, because when we children, we kind of absorb so much,
right? And
our parents don't kind of make us go in a direction that's inclined to our own inclinations. Yeah, they don't really push us in that direction. Just the school system, which is good. Yeah, but it's that other part of the brain that you got to utilize for your creativity and do what you love to do. So it's basically the book itself is going to teach you just to go back into their childhood and understand themselves more than how vibration. That's it. Just trying to understand yourself.
Okay, I feel that. And was there any particular people that you were thinking of when you made the book? Like, was any particular somebody in your life, or people that you passed by, or something like that?
As making the book, I just started going back into my childhood, understanding things myself, and I used to look up books on like psychology. Yeah, and they always talk about going back to old things that happened, understanding traumas, understand what's occurring now, because you don't just think something, Everything, the brain is a wire, and it remembers whether you know it or not. So just trying to remember who I was when I was a kid, trying to learn myself. I just wanted to put in the book, and then chess was there, and I was like, it's a strategy way to do that. And then different motivation, inspiration. That's my main thing, motivating, inspiring, and try to put it all together in the book.
Nice. And I would say that is the case a lot of times. Because I've had those things in the past where, like, in order to understand where I was in the current moment, that's the point of Sankofa, actually. It's the whole method and the
it's a balance. You gotta this is what I do. This one I try. So you go in the past, but you don't stay there too long.
Right.
Then you go in the future. So you go in the future, you're gonna see where you want to be at. You realize you're not there. It's going depression or whatever anxiety you face, it's gonna hit. So you gotta stay right in the current moment. Still like strategically pull from them things, Right. So I kind of try to operate and move.
Right. No, I feel that. So who are your inspirations just in general? Or like, would you say it's like a coach or a mentor or like
my mom? My mom is probably my greatest inspiration. Yeah, probably my greatest. Probably even when you currently living with your parent, she passed away now. But if you probably not know it, but you absorb a lot from her. Yeah. Then you start thinking about how strong you were. I just try to have that resiliency that she had no matter what happened. So it's probably my greatest person I looked up to.
That's proud.
Greatest person to look up
to. Yeah. Like that. So I mean, let's wanna see if we have any questions from the crowd. Got any questions from the crowd so far?
What's up, man?
You said you've been playing for 3 years or so, the game, and you look at your life. What piece reminds you of you?
That's questions that I was at. Remind me what piece?
Yeah. That's almost that tricky.
I want to say when I was young, the night. As I become an adult, the king. I got to pick the king. Not only because he's the king, but because I think once you lose himself, once you lose the king, it's over. Once I lose myself, I feel like the same in life. If I don't know myself, it's over. If I don't surround myself right with my other pieces, it's not going to last. I'm the king.
So why was the night initially the piece?
I was working hard but not working smart. He's a work, like he's a workhorse. You would throw him out there and get captured and set up something else. He work without thinking that much. But the king sit back. And he might trap somebody and get somebody there close enough, and he ain't really going out there like that. That's my So the king. That's a good question. That's a great question. That's a great answer too. I'm hosting that one. That's cold.
Hey, it's all being recorded, so yeah. That's a great question for sure. Anybody else? Is there any other questions? You got a question?
Can you talk about the importance of finding your purpose in life?
Finding your purpose. It's everything. I think if you're doing something majority of your time in life, you die inside just a little bit. It's like it's taken away. You know when you're doing something you really love. That's a good question too. Finding your purpose. Finding your purpose is going to enhance your focus on. Like if it's something you love doing, and you will feel it when you hit it, and you revert back. When you go back to your childhood, you probably knew your purpose. They probably was doing something you love doing without you getting paid for it. You just spend hours doing it alone by yourself. Whether it's writing, acting, writing out plays, singing, being technical with technology, video games can be a purpose, depending how far you're going with it. But I think your purpose is aligned to your inclinations, to your calling. It suits you. It suits you how you move. And you work hard doing it. You get stressed out, but you don't.
Congratulations again.
Oh, thank you.
Darius, so you talked about in the book, you were going back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were going back through childhood. Did you go through, because we all have trauma, right? So you go through the trauma. Did it help you to heal? Did it help you? Did you have to develop a strategy, like you said, to direct you to heal from that trauma? And do you see this parallel to what we as a people go through as we look at Sankofa, right? Going back to fetch what we forgot, but as we as a people having to go back and deal with the trauma so we can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a parallel?
Yeah, it was. For me, it was, my mom and understanding. I was kind of guarded, just building bonds with people. I was authentic and always myself and building good bonds, but I wanted nobody to get that close. So I understood why my mom would come. She'd be there for a little bit, a week or so, leave for 3 weeks. So for me, instead of feeling that pain, I said, no, I don't really close at all to people growing up. It's like, I'm an adult now. And you can't be moved. You can, but you don't want to be moved like that. As you meet people for business, purpose, relationships, you just don't want to move like that. So that's the biggest thing I took away and learned from it. For as a people, I think as a people, we all can go back and understand like where we was at. But I think it always start being independent first. You got to do it from your life experience. Then you can bring your best self to the situation and go like, hey, we can go further.
So, new projects. Do you have anything that you're thinking of now? Anything that you already brainstorming on?
I didn't brainstorm anything, but I tell you this: my next one's gonna be a novel. I'm gonna do some storytelling.
Nice.
Get a protagonist and put some pieces around it and talk. I did the self-help, laying down the foundation.
Right.
But I got a lot of things I can put into a character in there, and I'm gonna do that. I didn't think about it because I started getting overwhelmed when I started thinking about writing this book. Because it took a lot. It took two and a half years to get that one.
Really?
Even if it's not
this new one.
It took me a while. Just because I wanted everything to, like, I tried to cross every T that I wanted everything to hit point. If you read the book, like everything flowed perfect to me.
Nice.
I always get good reviews on it, so it take a lot. But I ain't think about the novel yet. I know it's gonna be a novel, but I had some dreams I want to start writing down that I know it's gonna be a part of it.
Okay.
I ain't been dreaming like that. I've been getting some good night's sleep.
Yeah.
I've been going so tired, so I did not gonna come when I start dreaming a little more.
Now I feel that you've been doing some good work, so I'm sure you're gonna need some rest.
Absolutely, appreciate it.
Yeah. Most definitely. I had a thought. In terms of all of this, in terms of this work that you're doing right now, you got a clothing line as well. I noticed you got the Nipsey shirt on.
Nipsey, oh yeah. You read the first chapter.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I see a lot of these. You got the same chain on. Yeah. So I see a lot of like inspirational things and a lot of things that are like very common and all that in terms of everything you got going on here. I think the final question I personally want to ask, and if we got any other questions, be sure to ask them. The final question I want to ask is, where do you see yourself in terms of all this, the clothing line, the books, and everything? Where do you see yourself about 5 to 10 years from now?
5 to 10 years? 2 more books in. Let me not say that. 1 more book.
Okay.
Because the novel gonna take a little. It may take 3 years.
Yeah, editing's crazy.
So just that and 5 years. Really expanding my brand and having
How is that going, by the way, in terms of the clothing?
Just the clothing. It was on pause because of the books. Because I started the clothing and when the virus hit, I was starting the clothing. Then the virus hit. Then I had got the shirts. I had stuff coming in, but it wasn't the right time for that. So I had to adjust. Like when the virus hit, I adjusted. Then that's when the writing came about. Because the clothes that I got on, it was sitting. It wasn't bringing no profit. So I had to do the book, not just for profit, but just because it was the smarter move then.
Right.
When I get back on the clothes, I want to come back. I want to come back hard with that.
Yeah.
So next 5 years, there will be another book. I got some big dreams, but 5 years, I just want to keep pushing it. I got my head down right now. The reason I can't answer that question because when I was doing the virus, I wrote everything I wanted to do for the next 3 years.
Okay.
And 3 years is up now. I got 2 books out. Now I was training clients. So now I got to write for another 5 years now. I really wrote it down reading Think and Grow Rich. I wrote exactly what I wanted to do down. I read it. I was reading every day at one point. Then I read it every week. Because I met a guy. He said, when you wake up in the morning, what you look at? I said, see what time it is to get the moving. He said, write something down because you got no direction where you're going. And it worked. I don't know if it's law of attraction, but when I was reading every day and I just go, that was always in my thought. So
where would you put it? Like you put it somewhere in your room, like on your door, or you
right there beside, the phone and the keys and the wallet. It wasn't even no major move. Like I set it up big. It was just a piece of paper I had to look at every day. I still got it too. Yeah. And like I made another one when I started writing pieces again. I just check the box off. Let's go. I got like 3 more things to check off.
Okay.
3 more things to check off.
Cool. So the 3-year list, it's already checked off.
So I got to do 5-year list now. You put the pressure on me for that. I put the 5-year list.
Shoot, you already got all this greatness going on in 3, so 5, I'm sure it's gonna be even better.
Yeah, but it's gonna be some more hard work.
Definitely. Do we have any other questions from the crowd?
How old are you?
I'm 27. 27. Yeah. 27 years old.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
All of 5.
So you did football, playing chess, writing, and designing. How do these things intersect?
How they intersect? That's good questions. So designing, that's creativity. So designing is both creativity. Sports is strategy, but sports is there. My workouts stay in shape, but sports isn't there. So I think that next strategy I went towards chess. So I think the 2 creative things is just designing, getting the right designs, coming up with the right thoughts in the books. That's going to correlate to each other all the time. It's that part of the brain. So it's creativity. But chessboard is strategic. So I want to learn the piano too, though. I want to play piano. The lessons cost too much, so I'm chilling there. I want to learn the piano, though.
I'm gonna put you on something like go on YouTube. They be having little lessons on there. Cause my stepdad a pianist, so like he don't like to teach people. He just taught me scales and stuff, and then he's like, you just figure it out from there. So
that's what my parents said. Man, I asked all the kids for everything, though.
Yeah, me too. Same thing. Like not go to school. No. Yeah. So I mean, I would say that like there's so many things out there online in terms of like if you want to learn something, and I guess it's the only thing that you need is the fuel to do it. And I would say both of your books are the fuel for a lot of people to be able to go out there and try something new and like put some skills into themselves. We have people that sit outside and like teach themselves. I know one young brother particularly. He came here about a year or so ago, and now he's like very close with the store. He works with the owner and stuff. He would practice guitar. And he wasn't that great at it at first, but a year later, he's just strumming like crazy in here at night, just hooking up his amp, just strumming. Now he's teaching other people. So this whole idea in this new age of like being like autodidactic and being able to teach yourself how to do things as opposed to having this gatekeeper here say, you got to pay me this much in order for you to learn what it is that you want to learn. I think that's one of the great things about our time now, but at the same time, with all the distractions that are out there as well, it also makes it hard for you to latch onto it and stay focused on it. So I would say your books are very much critical in terms of being able to counteract those particular distractions and those things in terms of being able to do that. So, I mean, with that being said, I can't wait to hear you play piano, bro.
But self-taught out there and stuff like that. I think I had this conversation with somebody not too long ago. I think in the Renaissance era, like Leonardo da Vinci, all them,
I agree.
They was crazy. I think we really are. We just don't know that. When we talked about 100 years from now, I think nobody will be sitting there. Now we gotta say that. You never know, but you might have to check them out here. Yeah. They gonna be looking at us like the wheel now won't be the wheel 100 years from now. It's gonna be totally different. But I think never in the time frame where social media or content based was you can come lucrative from that. It never been you gain currency from so many different ways. We in the Renaissance period, we just not understanding it. Right. We gonna be talking about this upon those great people like too.
I agree. I actually remember Nip saying that too. Like,
I ain't hear that. I ain't hear that.
Yeah, it was a particular clip on one of his songs. We kind of discussed how like it's a new age and like people just don't really recognize it yet. But the ones that do recognize it, if they take advantage of like the here and now, they'll be the ones to benefit.
I didn't even say that. I didn't even say that.
It was on the song actually. Like it was towards the end of the song. I think it was. I want to say it was Stay Loyal. It was one of those songs. But like towards the end of it, he kind of talks about how like the music industry, because he's a rapper, so like the music industry is changing. And like in the midst of that change, there's more autonomy for the artist. And so as long as they recognize it though, because a lot of them don't recognize it at times. And so exercising that autonomy is very important. And so all this new technology is a big reason for that. And so we can get out here and do a lot of different things. We can write books and get them published. We can put ourselves out there, record, different things like that. There are a lot of different things that we have at our disposal at any age, at any point in time. It's just like I was saying, it's just a matter of having the right mindset.
Yes,
and so that's why your book is pretty important, I would say, in terms of that.
It all started in the mindset. We go into the book a little bit. The second chapter actually talk about mindset and having a certain mentality. I use Kobe Bryant as the forefront for that chapter because the mom mentality, as we know, just having that certain focus on whatever you plant in the garden is going to be, it's going to not publish, but it's going to produce itself. So the mind is important. Like you said, you'll see with that quote, I think the mind is everything. Like, as above, so below. Your mind in good standpoint, you good mentally, everything else will be in line. Yeah. Once you get your feet stuff together. Just like boxing. Just like you throwing your hands, and your feet might not be going the right way, as above, so below. Get it all in order, it's going to be in line perfectly. You do whatever you want.
Yeah. Now, I ain't play ball, but I did train at Sugar Ray Leonard's gym. Yeah.
So you was training?
Yeah. I was training. I hurt my leg, so I didn't continue.
You did boxing?
Yeah, I was training to be a boxer.
How you hurt your leg?
Huh?
How you hurt your leg?
I was doing road work. I was out there doing road work. I didn't have running shoes on at the time.
Oh, I got you.
And then I was just obsessive. So I was doing my road work, and then I hurt my leg. After that, I got a job. I just said, nah. So, yeah, plus I had met Riddick Bowe one too many times. He used to live in Fort Washington too, so I met him one too many times. I just kind of started thinking twice. I was like, I don't know. I might not want to be yeah. There's a lot of damage that comes from that. but it's an excellent, again, like, so back to what I was saying about sports as well, like, it's an excellent way of, not just challenging yourself and seeing what you can do, but creating an idea of, like, focus and, like, commitment, and I would say even ritual in certain respects of, like, you get up, you do this every day, you do that every day, and all these things add up into a cumulative effect. It's like a snowball effect, and it brings you to the place where you want to be.
It's about, I think, getting better 1% every day. I think that's exactly what people use. A lot of stuff people use getting better each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person that's eating healthy for the 6 months straight versus the person who's unhealthy, you just want to see it over the lifespan, over the years ago. One day at a time. One brick at a time. Yeah, that's all you can do. I mean, I ain't never go in the future and with the one day before everybody else they came back.
Right.
So it's one day at a time. Just take it that way.
Yeah, most definitely. So what other things do people need to know about this book?
This book, I think this book hit people on I tried to at least hit every different facet of life. So from just understanding being patient, having the right mentality, the sense of purpose aspect of it, understand grandiosity. I'm going to talk about that word. Grandiosity is basically, it's another word for being overconfident. And being overconfident is basically never recognizing those around you who helped you. And we see it all the time. We might see it in the people in the limelight, or like in our lives personally. We get to a certain point in life, when we get successful, we like it, but we fail to look at what's going on around us. How this person, they didn't do it for us, but they helped us in this situation. And when you get off in things, you're gonna fall off every time you do it. When you're too overconfident. When it's like, because when you still make it, you still got some stuff to work on. When you're overconfident, you're not gonna listen to them, and it's gonna be brutal for you. So I think grandiosity is a big word, and grandiosity is also you can't do everything. I don't mean to like. I'm not saying like you can't do whatever you want, but some stuff you're not tailored for. And you stuck on that. You think I can do anything. We see it all the time. Athletes try to transition to another sport and get messed up. They think this because I'm good at chess don't mean I'm good at playing the piano right away. Like, it's like I can learn it, but it's still being humble about it, going about it the right way. So having a certain grandiose spirit, understanding it, but it's tricky because you can utilize that grandiosity and the overconfidence when you really know you're in your zone. You need to let people know sometimes. So you gotta be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it regardless. You need to have that. You need to have a balance with that. Inheritance of legacy, learning that part of life, and character. And characters, the word character is kakarot is a Greek term, I think. Back in ancient times, it's something that's deeply engraved inside of you. Well, your character is still you as a child. Yeah. You see the character, the child who's taken from the kids more, or the other child who's more laid back. So that one's more aggressive, more assertive. The other one's more laid back. So you stop pieces together from your childhood. That's it. I think that's almost. I think women being patient, mentality, sense of purpose, character, inheritance of legacy, having the inheritance of legacy. And that just means, inheritance is what you give somebody, legacy is what you leave within them. Do both for your offspring. And I try to hit every part. That's the main thing I want people to take from the book. But one main thing in particular, have to decide: know yourself. Yeah. Understand yourself and get to know. Just go back to your child and do them tough. Go to the drawing board, do them tough things. Yeah, that's it.
Somebody that I've been through these paths before, and I continue down that path. Like, those are all very important things, and even the idea of grandiosity. You kind of started to touch on what I think of grandiosity when it's like sometimes you build it up to such a degree that you start to think, I can't do all that. When you overly, you try to take on too much, or you try to, you say, all right, I have an idea to do this, or I have an idea to do that. And then you just keep adding on to the idea with the thought that, of course I can do it. Of course, yeah, no problem. But, like, you kind of also have to be realistic with expectations, and there's a balance with it.
To go too far is worse than falling short. When you fall short, it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to know your limits.
Yeah.
Know your limits.
Definitely. Anybody questions? Anybody comments? Anything like that? Okay, cool. So I guess I could. Yeah.
Tough questions. No, that's
I was about to say, I'm like, shoot, I might as well invite you on stage. You got a good question.
I appreciate it.
No, seriously, definitely appreciate it. I guess we could end it off with like acknowledgments and anyone you want to thank in terms of inspiring this book and inspiring this path of yours and people behind you, the wind behind yourselves. Is there anybody you want to
thank? Family, friends, loved ones. Anybody I ever came across and just got some wisdom from me, just dropped some knowledge. Some strangers that I can't really acknowledge because I got some quotes on my phone from them. I don't know their name. I put them in the book. Right. I appreciate them. This is my friends from everyone. Everyone who ever just assisted me in any way.
Nice. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming out. You too, man. Thank you so much. Excellent conversation. I'm inspired. Trying to go do something. Hope y'all want to do something with yourselves as well. So he's going to be up here signing. You can purchase the books up in the back. And thank y'all very much for coming out.
Thank you.
Now you can chop it up with your feet.
Everybody find the car. Everybody live. They live right. Send it out. Yeah. I'm about to send it out to everybody. Oh, yeah, nah, you good.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, you're not saying right.
I need to go on right. Hey, I need to go on and do this.
That's really what it is. It's like I got so much.